Hi, I'm Allie. Join me as I show you how to make these butterfly leaf earrings, which are based on a design by Chris Lewis King, who is one of our community members just like you. Remember, if you need any supplies, go ahead and look below the video in the description. We'll put links there to get your supplies from us online, and then you can gather up your supplies and get started. So these butterflies here, I made a little bit bigger than Chris Lewis King's sample, did some antennas and threw in some crystals there. I have a ring on the back to attach it to my huggy earrings here, and I'm going to make the other one. We have our LeafDuo beads. I'm using the Vitrail, and you're going to need 4 per earring, 8 total. We also have 12 of the 2mm bicones in the Amethyst, along with 2 IrisDuo beads and 15 O's. To begin, we're going to make our LeafDuo beads sit correctly. First one goes so that the leaf tip is kind of facing upward. I'm going to add a 15. This is the one on the top left. And then we're going to add the one on the top right, going through so it's also facing up. You can see I'm just kind of holding the end of my size 6 dragon thread there. You use white or green for this project, and you want them both to be centered towards the interior. Add a 15, a 2mm bicone, and a 15. And then you're going to add the leaves at the bottom that are shaped in the same direction. So they're both also going towards the interior there. I'm going to add my next LeafDuo going towards the interior, a 15, the next LeafDuo, and I'm using the center hole of all of those, a 15, a 2, and a 15. And then I'm going to take the end of the thread here and just tie this into a loop. And this is the whole wings of the butterfly. Once this is tied into a loop here in a nice tight knot, your wings cooperate and you should have basically the top and the bottom with the wings towards the exterior. The crystals will sit on the outer edge. We're going to begin by decorating our wings a little bit. After the knot, go through the 15 and the crystal. And then what we're going to do is we are going to add 3 seed beads. Remember, we only have 15 O's here, and we're going to go through the second hole of the LeafDuo. That puts those 3 seed beads right on the outer edge here that sit along the LeafDuo. In the interior here, I want you to drop 1, 2, 3 of your 15 O's, and then sew through the 15 O that is in between the LeafDuos. On the opposite side here, 1, 2, 3 more 15s, and into the second hole of the next LeafDuo. That gets that V. 1, 2, and 3 15s, and into just the 2mm crystal and out. When you're out the 2mm crystal, same thing here, 1, 2, 3 15s into the second hole, and then connect at the bottom, 1, 2, 3, through that 15 O that's shared in the middle. You can see I kind of turn it to the side, so that way I'm sewing through that direction. 3 more 15 O's get added. And once those 3 15 O's are added, we're going to go to the top of that LeafDuo. 3 more 15 O's get added. And we're going to sew into that 2mm bicone that our thread was first coming out of. Once we're here, we're going to reinforce going through that outer edge 3 seed beads that connect to the second hole of the IrisDuo. Go into the second hole of that first LeafDuo. Go through the 3 seed beads along the bottom. And I want you to have your thread and needle exit through the 15 O that sits at the connector. From here, we are going to add our IrisDuo to the top. And then as we come back around to, we'll add our antennas in. Want to learn how to become a jewelry making expert? With PotomacBeads jewelry making kits, you can create unique and customized bracelets, earrings, necklaces, and pendants. Every kit uses only premium materials and is hand-packed in the USA. Whether you're new or you've been crafting for years, these kits provide an immersive experience allowing you to create beautiful projects with ease. Visit PotomacBeads.com/kits today or click on the link in the description below. Coming out of that 15-0, I want you to add 3 more of your 15s and your IrisDuo. Your IrisDuo is going to set so that the flat side is down and the rounded side is up, followed by 3 more 15s. You're going to go back through that same 11-0 seed bead, or sorry, 15-0 seed bead. And that IrisDuo is going to hang to the front. Now you don't want to pull this tight because we have to have room in there for our 2mm bead. This is going to be the top of our piece. And what we're going to do here is take our wire guard, pinch it closed, go up through the wire guard, down through the opposite side of the wire guard, bring it down towards the piece. And then when you're exiting through that 15, I want you to go to the other side and sew through that same 15-0 seed bead. Pushing that towards the front so that way it sits nice and in the middle there. From here, we are going to go down through the beads along the side of the IrisDuo. And we're going to do some connecting beads. So I want you to pick up some more of your 15s here. And you're going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go through the center then of the IrisDuo second hole. 4 along this outer edge. Circling back around through that first hole. And that gets them along the side here. Coming down through those seed beads along the outer edge, 1, 2, 3, and 4 that you just added along the side of the body there. I want you to add 1, 2, and 3 more 15s. Go to the lower 15-0 that sits in between those LeafDuos down there. Sew through from the right to the left because I'm on the right side of the body. Go in and add 1, 2, and 3. You can see that's kind of the magic number. And we're going to go back up through the seed beads along the side of the IrisDuo. I'm going to go back up through the 4 that sit along the side, as well as the 3 that sit before that wire guard towards the top of the IrisDuo. Giving a tight little pull that pulls the IrisDuo down into place. We're going to pick up one of our 2mm bicones and sew over around the IrisDuo through all the seed beads on the opposite side. Push that bicone in place so it just hangs out there right along the top. As you get to the bottom of the seed beads, pick up another 2mm bicone and you're going to sew up the left-hand side there. So it's a little intricate butterfly. As we get to the top then, all we're going to do is make sure our thread's pulled tight. See that bicone's sticking up? Make sure that that's down. Pull our beads right there. Push them against the piece, pushing the IrisDuo towards the top. I'm going to sew through my bicone one more time to center it out. I'm going to sew up through the wire guard that sits below it to reinforce. Down through the wire guard on the opposite side. Once we're down through the wire guard on the opposite side, give it a little wiggle. We're going through the bicone one more time to center that bicone at the top of the IrisDuo. From here, we're going to tuck our needle and thread towards the back of the design. And I'm just sewing towards the back, kind of going underneath threads, flipping it over, going up through the 3 seed beads that sit on the edge, 1 and 2 15s, followed by 1 more 2mm bicone and another 15. This is going to be the antenna. So back through the bicone, back through this 3 seed beads along the side, add another 15-0, and go through the 3 seed beads on the opposite side. Going through those 3 seed beads on the opposite side, 1 and 2 15s, another one of my 2mm bead, back down through that bicone, and out towards the base of the piece. And that is how you get your lovely little butterfly. You can put a jump ring there if you want to connect it. You can go in and put your ear wire there. All we need to do now to finish off our butterfly is to tie the thread ends and the knot together. You can see here on her piece, what Chris did was just use an 8/0 seed bead right along the side where the bicones are, and did not have the seed bead that sits in between each side. She did the exact same thing, but put a bike with the 8/0 on the top and the bottom, and then did not do the antenna. If you want the antenna to stick out a little bit more, you can also use some bugle beads. All I have to do now for our beautiful leaf butterflies is go into the piece, get my thread ends to the same side, tie them into a knot, and burn down on my thread edges as I tighten this guy up, just taking my thread through to that outer row. Tie the thread here, burn it towards the back of the project, and put on your ear wires, and then your little leaf flowers or your little leaf butterflies are done. Thanks so much to Chris for these fun little leaf butterfly pattern earrings. Remember, if you do need any supplies, look below the video in the description. We'll put links there for you. As always, if you haven't yet hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do so, and stay tuned for more inspirational designs.